Okay, here we go. Chapter 3, Griffin's Riddle. A Dragon Detour. A little over a week ago, Ben might have fainted at the sight of a dragon squatting at the edge of a forest. But at the time, Ben had believed that dragons existed only in storybooks. Now he knew the truth. This particular dragon was as wide as a Cadillac and covered in black scales. He had 4 legs, a pair of wings. Duke, no bark. Duke, no bark. He had 4 legs, a pair of wings, and a mouth filled with sharp, serrated teeth. Although the dragon was capable of spouting fire and melting metal, Ben wasn't one bit afraid. "Hi, Metalmouth," Ben said as he and Pearl ran up to their friendly beast. "Hiya, Ben. Hiya, Pearl." Branches swayed as the dragon thumped his long tail. A gray feather was stuck between 2 of his sharp teeth. Metalmouth liked eating pigeons. His eyes widened as he spied the tennis ball in Ben's hand. "You want to play fetch? Huh? Wanna? Huh? His tongue popped out and started panting. "We really shouldn't, Metalmouth," Pearl told him. "Somebody might see you." "Aw, please," Metalmouth begged, his tail thumping again. Ben couldn't resist. The dragon was the closest that he had ever come to having a dog. "Just one toss," he said. And he threw the ball back into the forest. Metalmouth bounded after it, shaking the ground as an earthquake and breaking only a few trees in the process. Pearl and Ben followed him deeper into the forest, away from the road in case any cars drove past. During the day, Metalmouth was usually asleep in his nest on the hospital roof. If Mrs. Mulberry saw him, she would call the zoo. The dragon dropped the ball at Ben's feet. "You want to play again? Huh? Do you? "Metalmouth, what are you doing out here?" Pearl asked. "I came to tell you something." He tucked the tennis ball behind one of his scales. A loud crunch sounded as he sat on a huckleberry bush. "Mr. Tabby's canceling your apprenticeship." Mr. Tabby was Dr. Wu's assistant. "Canceling?" Ben gulped. "Like forever?" "No, not forever. Just for tomorrow." "Did I do something wrong?" Pearl asked. "I don't know if I broke any more rules or anything. But I might have. I'm not sure." "Mr. Tabby doesn't want you at the hospital tomorrow because... The dragon took a deep, wheezy breath. "Because..." And he opened his mouth so wide the kids could see his vulva. And then he sneezed. A gale-force wind roared over Ben and Pearl, coating them with dragon germs and nearly knocking them off their feet. The pigeon feather came loose, too. "Ew," Pearl said, scrunching her nose. Metalmouth's breath was worse than a dog's, and there was a lot more of it. Ben wiped his face with his sleeve. "Hi. Are you sick?" "No," the dragon said with a frown. "Dr. Wu is sick, but not me. I'm... He took another deep breath. This time, Ben and Pearl covered their faces as the sneeze blew over their heads. "Uh-oh," Metalmouth said, his shoulders sagging. "I don't want to be sick. I want to take medicine." "Thank you." He might have descended from a long line of ferocious village-burning beasts, but Metalmouth was just a big baby at heart. "What kind of sick?" Ben asked uneasily. "A cold or the flu?" "Ooh, I had the flu once," Pearl said. "It felt like a Martian was living in my stomach." "Is whatever you have contagious?" Ben asked worriedly. "Will I need to get a shot?" Well, Ben didn't mind taking medicine. He really hated getting injections. He had a whole series of them on account of his allergies. "A shot?" Metalmouth said, his ears flattening. Pearl patted his paw. "Maybe you won't need medicine or a shot. How long does this thing last?" "I don't know," Metalmouth shrugged. "Mr. Tabby said the sickness came from the imaginary world, and that we have to be really, really careful that we don't give it to any of the humans in Buttonville. That's why Mr. Tabby canceled for tomorrow. He wanted me to warn you not to come to the hospital." And then he coughed. It was a full frontal germ bath. Thanks for the warning, Ben said. He didn't want to hurt the dragon's feelings by pointing out that he and Pearl had already been stricken with many mysterious illnesses, thanks to the dose of dragon mucus. Ben could practically feel the germs squirming their way up his nose and down into his lungs. I'm not afraid of getting sick, Pearl said, jutting out her chin. Besides, we have to go to the hospital because we are on an important mission. Mrs. Mulberry has a sick worm. We have got to keep her from getting inside so she doesn't see anything she's not supposed to. Oh, you mean that loud lady who's standing at the front gate? Metalmouth asked, steam wafting from his nostrils. Ooh, she's scary. It was a sort of funny thing to see such a huge dragon be so afraid of a small woman like Mrs. Mulberry, but Ben didn't laugh. Metalmouth was only 10 in human years, the same age as Ben and Pearl, and even Ben felt a bit frightened of Mrs. Mulberry. She won't hurt you, Ben assured Metalmouth as he petted the dragon's other front paw, but it is super important that you don't let her see you because she will tell everyone. Yeah, Pearl said, everyone. Metalmouth frowned. Ooh, that would be bad. Whenever people find out about me and Dr. Wu, then we have to move. I don't want to move again. I wouldn't want to move either, Pearl said. I've lived above the dollar store all my life. No other place would feel like home. Ben cringed at the word home, remembering his morning phone call. Whenever I get sad about moving, Dr. Wu tells me that home isn't a place. Home is a state of mind. Metalmouth scratched behind his ear. I don't really know what that means either. What does that mean? Ben wondered. For him, it was definitely a place. It was located in Los Angeles, and it had 5 bedrooms, an outdoor pizza oven, and a swimming pool. You won't have to move, Ben reassured him. You can count on us, Pearl said. We'll get rid of that old Mrs. Mulberry. Oh, I sure hope so. Metalmouth tossed back his head and coughed again. The shockwave knocked pine cones off nearby trees. You, though, should go home and rest, Pearl told him. I mean, go to your nest and rest. Okay, but I still don't want to take any medicine. Metalmouth unfurled his wings, and after much flapping and the breaking of more branches, he rose toward the sky. Ben and Pearl ran back to the road. Now they had 2 worries. They needed to stop Mrs. Mulberry, and they needed to stay healthy. Was that a tickle in the back of Ben's throat? Did his forehead feel hot already? If I get some weird kind of disease, my parents are totally going to freak out, he said, trying to keep up with Pearl. He didn't want to think about the possibility that he'd be sent back home to Los Angeles to see Dr. Rosenbaum, his pediatrician. Dr. Rosenbaum always pounded on Ben's knees with a rubber hammer and stared into Ben's eyes with a small flashlight. And he gave shots. Ben and Pearl raced the rest of the way down Maple Street until they reached the dead end at the old Button Factory gate.